There comes a time where we all must choose between the light and the darkness.
How do you think that like the anti-Semitism in this show, which is it's such a big part of the show, how do you feel that that sits with, because it's going out today, it's going out in 2020 when that kind of stuff has been on the rise in the last few years in the US in particular?
It was like 60% of Americans are anti-Semitic. Something like 60%, which is a large percentage. So this is an interesting show to come out at this time. You know, it's just such a authentically Jewish show with so much in it. I was curious when making it how it would resonate with audiences. Being a Jewish person, I was like, this is like, it's very Jewish. I call my family, I tell them like we're speaking Yiddish in the series and it's culturally so on point. I was like, curious how people would respond to it.
It's not usual that you're in something where you're waiting to see how are the people going to take this thing. You know, it's interesting.
It's important to revisit these themes as, yes, humans do have a short memory. We're very much confined to the context of our own time. So it's important that we look back and truly revisit the horrors of what's come before us. It's taking parts of the past, revisiting them, and really giving them the grounds to breathe and show younger generations what happened.
Yeah, and also using history as a context to understand justice and culpability and blame and vengeance, all of these things, you know? You take anti-Semitism, you take racism, xenophobia, all of this stuff that's kind of part of the marrow of the show, and you place any of those, all of them, at any point in world history, and it's still going to resonate.
I mean, this is a show that's dealing with trying to stop people who have a fanatical idealism of making a better world. We're in a world that is increasingly got governments that are right-wing nationalists that divide people, make you feel that if people don't look like you, think like you, believe in the same God as you, or then they're other and that they need to be rejected.
You know, as long as there's someone on earth that has a little bit of hatred, these things are going to keep happening, right? And it's just about what each of our responsibility is, right? To make sure that doesn't continue to happen, to make sure there is not another Holocaust.
It has to be acknowledged. You can't just be zombies, which it seems like some people, that's the choice they've made. But you can't, because what happened could happen again.
Yeah, and we live in a kind of a society now that's hurtling forward so quickly that we're forgetting the past.
Yeah.
And so allegorical stories like this, told in a often subversively entertaining way, is a very kind of powerful tool and necessary. And I think there's never a time where this kind of a story will always be pertinent to society and humanity.
I think growing up Jewish in America, I felt such a casual form of anti-Semitism, which to me in many ways is even more horrifying, you know? And so small acts, a joke about Jews in ovens that I heard when I was in college, or a swastika being spray painted on the front lawn of my high school growing up, those things felt so big to me, so explosive to me. But I think for a very long time, this anti-Semitism was very kind of couched. People kind of held it inside. And in the past few years, we're seeing this expression of anti-Semitism and racism and xenophobia in incredibly violent ways. I mean, there's an epidemic of this in our country and around the world. And I think, unfortunately, Hunters is more timely than ever before.